Hi my friends, it's Carrie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be focusing on some products from Concord and Ninth, and I'm going to be making two different cards, but it's going to be using basically the same products. So I'm going to be using this 6x6 paper pack here that they just released in their previous release, and it's just basically all black and white and gray tones, and then it's got these patterns in here that you can use the coordinating stencils with it. So that's what I'm going to be using today, and I'm going to be using both stencils on at least on one of them. So I'm going to start off by using this one pattern paper that's got the writing in the background, and I'm just kind of lining up my stencil here. And it's so cool that these products are able to be used together. It's really fun to do this, and it really does make for really quick, simple cards if you really need to make a quick card and just get it out the door if you needed to. So I'm going to take my ink blending tool here and some mustard seed distress ink, and I'm going to cover this whole entire panel here. And it won't matter if I do get ink on the sides that's not covered by the stencil, because I will be cutting this piece down. So if you do this, if you get this pack or already have it and you are worried about the ink getting on the sides, unless you're actually going to be framing this entire 6x6 piece, you really won't need to worry about getting the ink on the sides there, because majority of us will be cutting it down. So just keep that in mind. So I'm just going to go ahead and add my ink all over this panel here. And I was kind of focusing on trying to do a little bit of variety here on some of the stencils or flowers. Even though that I am using the same color, I wanted to give a little bit of shading to some of them. So that's why you see I'm kind of adding some little darker edges to some of them, and just kind of lighter edges on the ends to some of them, and just kind of give them a little bit of different variety. So now I thought it would be fun to add some shimmer since I still had my stencil on here. And I'm just taking my shimmer spritz here. I love this stuff. I recently did this in a haul video, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'm happy that I got this stuff. And so I did take that out and let that air dry just for a moment as I cleaned off that first stencil. Now I'm going to go in with the second part of the stencil, the other layering stencil that you can add to on top of this. And I'm just taking my other color here, and I'm just going to add some shading on top that gives it a little bit more depth and dimension to these flowers. So, and it's really cool how all of this comes together. You see how really beautiful this actually turned out, and you can see all that shimmer. It's really beautiful in real life, and it really does catch the light well. So I thought I would go ahead and set that aside and let it dry and just work on our second one. And I've chosen a completely different panel, and I thought I would get out 3 different shades of purple distress ink, and I thought it would be neat to do like an ombre or gradient effect on this whole piece here. So I'm going to start off with my shaded lilac, which is my lightest purple here. And at first I started doing a dabbing motion on this piece, because some of these stencils, even though it doesn't look too intricate on camera here, these stencils are a little bit intricate and a little bit delicate, especially toward the inside of the flowers, that you've got such little jagged little edges to the flowers that that's why I started out doing a tapping or bouncing motion. But as I went along, if I just used a lighter hand, then it was okay to go ahead and do a more of a normal motion that we do when we're blending distress inks. So that's when I went ahead and changed to here, since I was blending colors, and it does blend better if you do it this way. So, so I'm going to go ahead and do my middle color here and get that all down, and you can see how the gradient is happening between these colors. It's really turning out really nice. So I thought I would go ahead and go and do my third color, which is I started out doing, I think you saw that I was going to do wilted violet, but then I changed my mind because it really didn't really make sense to do that color as my darkest color. So that's why I changed to I believe it's the Concord color. So I'm going to add some water because obviously we're using Distress Inks here, and I thought it would be neat to add a little bit more texture, I guess, if you will, on these flowers. And on camera, it just makes a little bit of a subtle effect here, but once you see the end results of these cards, you will see that it does make a big difference. So I really do love how that's all coming together, and it's really nice how fast these do come together because obviously the stencils were made for these pattern papers. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut down some of my panels here and cut some cardstock panels. And I thought I would give you a little bit over close to that shimmer there, but you can see on camera right there how much it does really catch the light. It's really nice. So I just cut down some panels just to go with the colors of my stenciled backgrounds. And now I'm going to go ahead and work on my sentiments here. This is a little bit of an older Concord and 9th stamp set. And I love the font in this. It's just a really beautiful brushed font, I guess you'd say. So I'm going to take my Misty. This is the full-size Misty here. And I do have both of them, the mini size and the full size. And I just love being able to use both of them in my craft room. So I'm going to ink up both of my sentiments at the same time here. Sorry, I'm kind of off camera on both of the sentiments, but you will get the gist of obviously what I'm doing here. But I'm taking my VersaFine Onyx Black ink and inking both of the sentiments at the same time. And luckily for me, it did ink up just fine the first time. So that was really great that it did. This is pretty good ink to stamp with anyway. So you really don't necessarily need a Misty. But obviously I am probably like a lot of us, we are addicted to our Misty stamping tools. So I went ahead and cut those down using that scalloped circle frame. So I've got my sentiments ready to go, and now it's time to go ahead and put both of our cards together. So I thought it would be neat to add, since I had some shimmer in the very first card, I need to add a little bit of shimmer to my purple. So obviously I took out the shimmer, the silver sparkle cardstock from MFT, which is my favorite. Y'all seen me use that multiple times. So I'm using that on this purple card here. And so now I'm going to go ahead and add a layer of the same purple cardstock that I used for the main panel here. And so like that would be a nice background, or I guess, background, I guess, your frame to my sentiment circle. So I'm going to add a little bit of foam tape to that, just give it some dimension and pop that up just a little bit and put that into place. And it really does focus really nicely. It kind of, even though our stenciled piece is more or less our focal point, it doesn't take away from the sentiment either, and it also brings to light that sentiment too. So I'm adding this to an A2 size card base, and I'm actually not doing a top fold card base on these cards today. I'm going to go back to the style that I usually do, or I used to do, and just for something different. So I'm using my Tomomono to get those into place onto my card bases here, or card panels, I guess you'd say, and just get those really good and adhered. This glue is really good for that, and it allows you to get some wiggle room onto whenever you're putting your cards together. So that's awesome. And again, I put some foam tape on the back of this panel here, and I'm just going to add some glue to my white card base once more, and add this to that card base, and that completes both of the cards for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed both the tutorials of the cards, and really two great ways that you can make these cards and how fast they can come together. Thank you all so much for watching my channel. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you on my next video. Bye-bye.